Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to practice. I am so glad that you are joining either here with me live as we record or the recording later. So, welcome in. I'm so glad that you are here. I am comfy clothes today, as you can see. You guys know if you've been watching the channel, I have really been letting the fact that I'm a fan of Stray Kids shine. So this is their concert hoodie. But in any case, it's kind of crazy because it's July and it has been hot here in the Midwest of the United States. It has been hot, but a storm rolled through yesterday. If you're from the area, you know. And no joke, on the way home, my car was saying it's in the 90s, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And then by the time I got home, it was in the 70s. It dropped almost like 20 degrees. So, anyway, felt like fall sweater weather, I suppose. I don't think we're there yet, certainly not permanently. But what a great excuse to wear some concert merch, or if you're not a concert person, just a comfy, nice sweatshirt, right? So, in any case, I hope you're comfy. I hope you're cozy. I hope I hope you're comfortable. And that is part of what practice is about. So this space, this is really empowered healing practices is a renewal space, right? This is renewal. We slow it down. We slow it down. If you know me, if I'm in my authentic, highest, most joyful expression of myself, I am high energy. I'm an extrovert. I'm out there. I'm going. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe some of you are like, whoa, that is not me. That is all good. Welcome on in. As we're trickling in, feel free to hop in the chat, say hi, let me know who's here. But you don't have to, no pressure. So all of that, right? The high energy and for some of us, that high energy looks like anxiety and stress, right? That's also high energy. And so whether or not you're high energy in joy and excitement or you're high energy in anxiety and worry, right? Either way, this is a space of renewal where we pump the brakes a little bit and we give ourselves the permission, the chance, the opportunity to slow down, take a breath, regulate our nervous system, right? Who doesn't need to do that a little bit more? So that's what we're doing. That is what empowered healing practices. That's what these practices are. And ultimately, at the foundation, they are a series of different practices to serve your nervous system. That's the whole point. As a background in science and physiology, this is what motivates me about this. This is why I care about this. And this is why I want to offer it to all of you, is because these practices are so nourishing and so healing, and things that I don't think in a lot of societies we give ourselves the chance or the permission to do. So, with that, I am keeping it super simple tonight. We are just going to breathe. We've been doing a lot of really simple practices lately. So go back through and watch the recordings. If you go back further, we've done some more complicated, like visual journeys or different relaxation types or gratitudes. And we'll get back into those too. But for right now, we're in a season, we're just keeping it simple. And how many of us just need a few minutes to breathe, right? Maybe this is the first chance, the first time today where you're starting to pay attention to your own body. Maybe you've paid attention to the needs of everyone else around you. Now this is your chance, right? This is your practice, your chance, your time to give yourself that renewal, that healing, that re-regulation. So we're coming into the posture that you want to take for the evening or whenever you're watching this. If you're watching it later on the recording, as usual with most of my practices, you are taking the position that is most comfortable for you and what your body wants and needs. So this is not your typical meditation practice where you're coming in and we're sitting very disciplined and rigid. Although you can, I am going to stay seated here. This is your chance, maybe the first time today, maybe the first time in a while, when you have tuned into your body and said, what do you want? What do you want me to do? Do we need to sit here in a chair to feel good? Do we need to use the back of the chair? Sorry, I'm disappearing a little bit, to lean back and let it support me that way? Do I need to curl up on the bed or the couch with some blankets and some pillows and get myself comfortable and relaxed? Take the position that your body needs. All right. So as you're doing that, grab some water, grab your journal if that's helpful for you. We are going to move into sticker segments. And of course, as you're here with me, before we really get into the practices, don't hesitate to jump on in the chat if you would like. And sticker sticker segment. What is it? It is, I've got these stickers. My mother-in-law actually gifted me these like sets of stickers, and they have all of these like super motivational sayings on them. Well, some of them are motivational. Some of them are like, we'll call you out. So there's hundreds of them. I don't even know what's on all of these. So we found that it was fun to, meaning me and the folks that come on the channel, thought it was fun to just like pick a few randomly and see what they have to say. And sometimes they give us inspiration. Sometimes they give us what we need to hear. Usually I try to stick to 3, but lately, like, I've been pulling a grip full. So we'll just see what we get through. This one we did last time. So there's 5 here. So we're just gonna cruise through. And I feel like I keep shrinking on you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, ready? This is the theme of tonight. Mental health matters. Mental health matters. Yes, it does. Mental health is important. Mental health is important. Physical health is important. And so here, we'll go through these. So with that, stay strong and stay positive. You might receive this and think, yeah, that must be nice. I wish I could do that. If that's your sentiment, you're in the right spot. We're here to lend that to you, to move into a space where this feels possible. Maybe you are already feeling motivated. With the stickers, take what feels good, take what feels right, leave the rest. They're just supposed to be for fun, a little motivating. Boy, the camera really is going in and out. All right, we've got a couple of things here that are like, maybe this is for you, right? Let's get to work. Let's make the next move. I feel like this might be for me. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. So maybe if things have been feeling blah and gray and like we're not getting a whole lot of traction or movement, oh my gosh, mirrored. Inject a little enthusiasm. Why not? And while you're at it, because the stickers like to do this to us, don't wish for it, work for it. Let's go. Boss babes and boss men. I guess men can be boss babes too. Anyway, don't wish for it, work for it. Let's go. Last one. We're all right. Aw. Maybe it doesn't feel like that. Maybe it does. But let the sentiment just sort of sink in. What if this were true? I like the colors and the vibe. It's calming and fun. All right. So I hope you took from that what was interesting to you. Leave the rest just for fun. And hopefully by now you are all settled in a nice, comfortable position. You've had some water. And start coming into stillness. So take any last movements that you need. I don't know why I do this, but anytime somebody says take some movements to settle down, I want to roll my wrists. So, maybe do that, get that out. Maybe you're going to roll your ankles a little bit. Maybe you got to stretch a little bit. Actually, I do. Stretch a little bit out. Maybe you got any itches. Maybe you need to move your clothes, right? Adjust your clothing, adjust the blanket if you got some blankets and things like that. Adjust your hair. And coming into stillness. When you're ready, no rush here, no rush here. When you're ready, go ahead and let your hands fall into a neutral position. So maybe just resting gently in your lap, maybe down by your side, especially if you're laying down, or over your chest or your belly, something like that. And then when you are ready, go ahead and gently close down your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, and you want to leave them open, please feel free to do so. I invite you just to take a soft gaze somewhere down in front of you. And we're starting now to actually, let's first just generally check in with your body. So, same exercise we did as we were seeking the position and the posture we're taking for this evening. Just checking in with your body and just noticing what's there. And I want to invite you to do this in a mindful way. So that simply means becoming aware of any sensations, but doing so without judgment, right? So just noting, becoming aware of what's there in your body. So maybe you notice some tightness or tension. Maybe there's some pain. Maybe there's some cold spots or warm spots. Maybe you realize that even starting to come into this practice, you're a little bit more relaxed than maybe you realized, or you're starting to be more relaxed. And then as you're ready, bringing your awareness to your breath. So narrowing that focus, narrowing that attention, narrowing that awareness into the breath, becoming aware of your in-breath and your out-breath. And same way we invited awareness in the body, we invite it to the breath. So just letting the breath be what it is and tuning into what you need. So for me, a lot of these first breaths as we settle in, I take a nice deep inhale through my nose. And then I let it all out through my mouth and like a sigh, right? You may take a full inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. You may take a first couple of breaths both in and out through your mouth. You may let out vocally, right? We might, if you've had a certain type of day, or if that's just what your body needs, it's not uncommon for me to breathe in and then just let it go, right? Give yourself the permission, give yourself the opportunity to let your body take what it needs with your breath. Nobody's judging what breath you need. And so take as many of those initial breaths as you need. And maybe they start to change a little bit. Let out some sighs, some forceful breaths. And then maybe you begin to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And maybe those breaths start to get a little bit longer, both on the inhale and the exhale. And just allow yourself to stay here, to be here in this moment, with this breath, at this practice. And maybe on one of your breaths, on your exhale, you allow those shoulders to drop down and away from your ears. Maybe with an exhale, you allow the muscles in your forehead, around your eyes, around your temples to start to soften. And maybe with an exhale, you relax your jaw and you unstick your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And maybe on an exhale, you let your hands relax a little bit more, from fists to relaxed, open palms. And maybe on an exhale, you let the big muscles in your legs relax and the muscles in your feet relax, and your toes uncurl a little bit more. And maybe on your next breath, you just allow yourself to breathe. And maybe you let that happen for the next breath and the next one. Just breathing. Let yourself be here. A lot of times as we sit and come into stillness, our mind starts to do what our mind does, which is think. Think into the future about our plans, worry about something that's coming up. Find a way to be anxious, or maybe visit the past. And as that happens, because that will happen, simply become aware that you're thinking. And as your awareness lands on the thoughts, thank them for showing up and allow them to go, returning your attention to your in-breath and your out-breath. Always allowing that attention to return to the breath. We may have feelings arise that we should be doing something else. How long have we been here? How long will we be here? Am I doing it right? What do I have to do tomorrow? Did I do enough today? We can allow all of those things to be and then go. Setting our intention to breathe, bringing our awareness back to the breath. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Just breathing. Can you let it go? It is okay if the answer is no. The practice of mindfulness is to become aware, practicing becoming aware and practicing returning to the breath. You can do this as many times as you need. No judgment. Allowing ourselves to slow down. And as we breathe, we may even come to a moment of gratitude, grateful that in this moment, all we need to do is breathe. The rest of our day, our week, our month might be flooded and busy. And in this moment, we give ourselves permission to just breathe. Knowing that as we do this, our bodies respond. Our bodies respond when we treat them well, and our bodies respond when we don't treat them well. And in this moment, finding gratitude for showing up for yourself, showing up for your body, for treating it well in this moment. Just breathing. A few more quiet breaths here. And as we come to the end of practice, finding a few more moments of gratitude, repeating after me out loud or to yourself, I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful for this breath. I am grateful I showed up to practice tonight. And as you're ready, starting to take some small movements, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, stretching if you need to stretch. Give yourself a big hug. Release some oxytocin, which is what this does. I invite you to bring a smile to your face as you come into this room where we started, opening your eyes. And how are we feeling? How are we doing? How was practice for you tonight? I'm so glad that you came. Please feel free to hop on in the chat if you want to join me there. No pressure to do so. But I'm so glad that you showed up tonight. We do this every week. There's a small chance I won't be doing this next week because I'll be going to another concert. So stay tuned for that. There will be notes on the channel if anything changes. We have over 100 videos now, so do catch us on one of the previous recordings. This one, all of our lives are automatically recorded and available for you at any time. So you can always go back to check out the sticker segment or just do the practice. I put bookmarks in some of them for practices. I'm working on getting more consistent with that. Find me on social media, obviously here at the channel. Please like, share, subscribe, all of those good things. Share with your friends. Find me over on Facebook, Empowered Healing Practices. Join our private Facebook group where you can get inspirations, notifications for all of the practices. I've been super active on Threads lately, mostly for stray kids. So I don't know if any stay are watching, but if you are, hello. So I'm so glad if you are here. So catch me over there. I'm primarily in Stayville, but my handle over there is the Sparkly Dr. George. Also check out our website. I realized I didn't put everything in the description for this with all the links and information, so I'll do it right after this. But head on over there, empoweredhealingpractices.com, and check out more about who we are and what we do and why we hold this renewal space. So I am so glad that you were able to join me tonight. Again, you can always watch the recording. We do this every week. Share, share, share. We want to get it out so that everyone has a chance to have a renewal space. So until next time, all my love, and we'll see you next week. Bye.